This is ridiculous. This is absolutely bonkers. We're taking double turns. We're drawing 7 cards. We're dealing 4 to... Oh my god. Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're all having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. Holy Toledos, we've done something. I apologize in advance for ruining the meta. Trying to sniff out the most competitive decks within the first few days of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and Izzet artifacts, red and blue, mid-range I would say, is no joke. The synergies held within this deck are unlike any I've seen in quite some time. So within the video, we're going to break down the deck list, talk about the strategies, the synergies held within, kind of reveal exactly what the deck is trying to do in your matchups, and then we'll demonstrate all of that within the gameplay footage so you can actually get a better grasp of exactly how it all does play out in real time. And then we'll wrap up with our final thoughts, deck review, and card of the day. So buckle up, get ready, make sure to like the video to show your support, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends about it. Hey, have you guys heard about Hello Good Game on YouTube? Wicked content. Go give it a little look-sees. All right, so let's take a look at Kiki Jiki, the Mind Painter. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, that's about the best name I've ever heard of for a deck, and, well, it matches the deck, right? Both very high tier. 3.6 average mana value with 8 creatures and 30 non-creatures here. Only 22 land in the build, but we have some modules here, right? We have 3 Sea Gates, which brings us up to 25, which should be no problem. And then we also have a few different ways to ramp through treasure tokens, which is fairly decent. But before we get there, let's take a look at some of the core concepts of the build. First and foremost, it's the Mind Link mech for 3. It's a 4/3 artifact. It could be an artifact. I don't know what brand this thing is. An artifact vehicle with flying, and whenever Mindlink Mech becomes accrued for the first time each turn until the end of turn, Mindlink Mech becomes a copy of target non-legendary creature that crewed it this turn, except it's a 4/3. It's a vehicle artifact in addition to its other types, and it will have flying, which is about the most ridiculous thing I've ever read on a card. Crewing on the next turn, as you know, the Flame Painter is going to come in for 4. It has Summoning Sickness, but we don't care because we're crewing it. A 1/4 with Double Strike. So it becomes a 4/3 with flying and has Double Strike and has the ability, whenever the Flame Painter deals combat damage to a player, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into the graveyard, instead exile it. Ooh, woof, right? And, this is where you guys are going to get a little bit upset because we're free casting, literally everything that you wouldn't want to have free cast against you. Alchemist Gambit for 3, take an extra turn after this one. You would lose the game if you don't win at the end of that turn. However, you can cleave it for an additional 3 for 7 just to take turns. Very cool stuff here. We also have the Magma Opus for 8 instant speed, dealing 4 damage divided as we choose among any number of targets. We get to tap 2 permanents. We also draw 2 cards and we'll create a 4/4 token, which is decent, and we can discard it ourselves by paying 2 to make a treasure token, which is pretty cool, right? Getting it into the grave and ramping is decent. And then the Seagate Restoration, draw cards equal to the number of cards you have in your hand, +1, then no maximum hand size. That'll set us up for the rest of the game, which is pretty decent. So that's kind of what we're doing on the top end of things to win the game. On the first few turns, or in the first phase of the game plan here, we're focusing on things like the Ogre Head Helm for 2. It's a 2/2. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. Whenever it or equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do, discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. So we want to be discarding some of these more powerful cards into the grave so we can free cast them with the Flame Painter, right? Cool beans. And we'll get to cast 2 because it has Double Strike, which is super exciting, right? So making sure that we have the appropriate cards in our grave and drawing new cards, which is super exciting as well. We also have Fable of the Mirror Breaker and Reflection of Kiki Jiki. What a card. This is going to see play for sure. For 3 mana, creating a 2/2. Whenever it attacks, you create a treasure. First thing is, you can play this after the mech. The goblin, becomes a 4/3 with flying from the mech, and it will create a treasure. So it's a really good way to create treasures when you attack, kind of like Goldspan Dragon, and we all know how annoying that was. You can also discard up to 2 cards and then draw that many cards. That's going to help us get those powerful spells in the grave to free cast, help us draw the Flame Painter into our hands so we can play it, right? This combined with the Ogre Headhelm is ridiculous because when you flip it into the reflection of Kiki-Jiki, it's a 2/2. You can pay 1 to tap it to create a token that's a copy of another target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste, and then you sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Well, we're copying the Ogre Headhelm, which would sacrifice itself when it deals combat damage anyways, which is cool. So the Ogre Head just stays there. We copy it as a token. The token attacks, sacrifices itself. We discard our hand, draw 3 cards. We still have the original Ogre Headhelm in play. Really cool. And we can continue that process every single turn. Not to mention, you know, if they've got blockers, we can put the mech on it, give it flying while we're looking for the Flame Painter, right? So the Ogre Head helps find the Flame Painter, and then the Flame Painter will just give you lethal, right? It's going to be silly. Taking double turns, you know, multiple Magma Opuses and stuff. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing again. Prismari Command, you know, this is going to help us get there, right? We can choose 2 instant speed at 3, dealing 2 damage to any target, drawing 2, then discarding 2, creating a treasure, or destroying target artifact. So a lot of playability here, versatility, if you will. And then we finally have Tezzeret, Betrayer of Flesh for 4. 4 loyalty. Activated abilities of artifacts cost 2 less to activate. I mean, you know, we could be running Lithoform Engine and getting real weird with this. However, you know, that's in a different video. -2, target artifact becomes a vehicle creature instead. Base power and toughness 4/4. And then finally, you get an emblem with whenever an artifact you control becomes tapped, draw a card, which is fairly decent. And, you know, I really just like the draw and discard. It's good value. You can create a 4/4 treasure, basically, which is good aggression as well when it enters the play. So I do like Tezzeret. It's not one of the core components to the build, but, you know, it's a little cherry on top. We do have Spell Pierce for protection and an Otherworldly Gaze, you know, again, helping us find that Flame Painter and filling the graveyard with the big boy spells, if you will. Access Tunnel gives Flame Painter the ability to be unblockable without the mechs flying, which is nice. And then the Crucible can be discarded to make the 1/1s, which is pretty cool as well. So they could be easily crewed for the attacker. Soaring City for the bounce effect, as you know, any good deck would have these days. And yeah, Kiki-Jiki the Mind Painter. Wait until you see this footage, you guys. It's ridiculous. This is, yeah, and this is like a prototype version, you know what I mean? Like, where is this deck going to be when we see it in Worlds? Like, what are they going to add to this? Make sure to like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, share to your friends, and most importantly, enjoy today's matches. We'll meet up afterwards for our final thoughts, deck review, card of the day, and any other general shenanigans I can think of. Enjoy. On the draw, there's a couple pieces here. I mean, we have the Mac on 3. We have the Opus to discard on 2. Let's Seagate in tapped. Innkeeper's good. Red Source pass, Opus on their end step. Ooh. They gain 2 life. This might be a hard matchup. Being on the draw and all. Okay. We can go for it. Create the Goblin. We want to draw and discard, try and find the Painter. Ooh, ouch. They hole our Goblin. They crew the Chariot. We're getting hit for 5. Yikes, man. Not okay to hurt people like that, man. We don't have a field wipe. Does this deck need a field wipe? Should it be Jeskai? Or we could run, burn down the house? Okay. I mean, if only we went first, right? We're close. We're at 25 live too, so we're not swinging in for lethal with a double turn. 18 we'd be a few shy for sure. They don't crew, weird. They just have basically lethal instead. Well, dang, at least we get to showcase kind of what we want to do. We had another land. It would also... Oh, we do. But we can't tap it because it has Summoning Sickness. So this is pretty cool, right? We can also Otherworldly Gaze to throw something into the grave. Double Opus? I don't even think that's going to win us the game. It's rating for 4. Lead for 8. 12 more damage. We're still 9 shy. So we're just going to wipe their field, I guess. Making the blockers. Then we do it again. Kill the cat. Now we have some blockers. See? Not bad. Pretty cool stuff, right? Think we're probably just gonna lose. Still, but, you know, maybe there's hope. Take the Flame Painter. You would. You would. I need him. I need that back. I don't see any attacks here, though. Interesting. Okay. We have to seriously think this through. We could destroy this, which is really good. It's not great. We're in a weird spot. I'm going to take the land. That gives us 6, potentially 7, 8 with the treasures. Let's get our helmet out. Through the helmet. I want to do this to give a token that's got haste, but I don't think we're getting there. We're a little shy, and I don't want to lose all of our value. So I just want to get us a little bit closer, and then we can take it next turn. We don't need sacrifice. We need these commands. We actually only have access to one. But then next turn we have lethal through Kiki Jiki, which is pretty cool. We can chump block. If they crew the chariot, it's absolutely gonzo. Gaining life is fairly frustrating. Right, we're trying to mitigate that as best we can. It was their top deck though. Gives them access to 4, while Paladin's class is 5. So that's fine. They have 4 blockers. Let's still kill the Innkeeper. I don't like it. I like that they crewed it, but good game. Woo! I don't know how we made it through that. Wow. And it's all because of this MindLink mech. And the fact that you can copy, oh man. I love it. It's a little bit more complicated deck to play. It's something that I'll like, even I've made the deck myself and I need to like really hammer out the play lines and integrate them into the meta and see which one's most effective for different matchups. Wow. Okay, this is something special. I like it. All right, so there's the Flame Painter here, but I feel like we're being baited. Like, the client's trying to bait us into keeping this hand, but we're not going to get the land. Kind of awkward. I mean, we can find the land with the gaze. We can toss the appropriate things away. A little nervous about this hand. Land in, we can toss Opus. Make the treasure for the red source. Take our turn. Here it is. Organically, baby. We get to keep the treasure, which is cool. Fable of the Mirror Breaker in play. Get to create a 2/2 red goblin, and when it attacks, we'll create a treasure token. Then we can discard up to 2 and then draw that many. And then exile and transform. Of course, it transforms into Kiki Jiki, which is just fun to say. Ropes are up. The ropes are up. I mean, it's a new card. It needs reading. Guaranteed they blast the 2/2, right? I mean, I would assume so. There it is. And here we are. Know that to know this. Let's pass it over to their priority again. They must have instant speed, right? They're going to fry the 2/2. We don't really have anything in hand. Let's end our turn, send it to them. And here's the removal of a braid. Okay. They have a full mitt, like a lot of cards over there. And we're basically out of ammo, which is worrisome. We're going to toss Pierce and Gaze. Let's throw out a secondary mirror. We get another 2/2. Access tunnel out. Pass our turn. Alchemist Gambit, which doesn't do much here. Typically, we want to free cast that, but it is what it is. And a secondary Abrade. Oh, woof. Third land. Kiki Jiki. Coming at ya. I'd assume they have more removal. Discard the Gambit. We keep the Helm because it draws hands. I'm going to spend the treasure on the mech. Putting out some enchantment creatures here. And an artifact vehicle, which is fun. So Reflection, we can pay one, tap it to create a token that's a copy of another target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste. Which in this case is the Ogre Headhelm. Ideally, you know, making copies of the Flame Seeker. You could also make copies of the 2/2 that it creates, which is pretty good. So we can end our turn. You see a pair of goblins, 2/1/1s. Let's go. Good blockers, right? They could even double block. They need to kill the ogre. We maybe should have equipped it for that reason. But then they also want to save it for the Mind Link mech. Like, it kind of gets a little messy, right? I didn't equip the ogre, as I was worried about instant speed removal. As they had untapped mana, right? This is a slow match. Even more so when you consider the fact that we're playing against a mono red player. One of the more aggressive decks. Alright, they're tapped. This is fantastic. We want to draw, right? And I think we do. It sucks that it's our Mind Link mech, but the draw is a must. We can end our turn, pass it over, and now we've got some juice again. Losing the mech, not great. Maybe we should have Kiki Jiki'd the head helm instead. It is combat damage, and they would have blocked it, though. It's good to propel us forward. And if we can just start kind of turboing through our deck, you know, obviously we're going to find more Mind Link mechs. We're going to find, you know, more Flame Painters. Stuff like this. Let's gaze it up. We're sitting on 5 mana. 6 and 7 in hand. We draw the mech. Let's just let's get going, right? Let's make some treasures. Let's draw some cards. Let's speed this whole thing up. Toss the lands. Make the treasure. Mech out. Land in play. Make a copy of the ogre head. Attack with it. They will interact with it. I don't want to lose our organic ogre head. Because we can basically send this one in each turn. Can't believe they let us have it. Sacrifice it. There it is. Let's get a secondary Mind Link mech out. Okay, okay, okay. End our turn. It's really cool with Kiki Jiki and the Ogre Head, because the Ogre Head's going to sacrifice itself before Kiki Jiki can self-sacrifice it, which is the stipulation. Which is deadly, right? What a sick synergy. Wedding announcement. Okay. It's a thing. I see Seagates. I see an Alchemist Gambit here. And I think they're tapped. Land out. Painter active. Tap Kiki Jiki to make another Flame Painter. And then crew them both with the mechs. And I am an absolute god. Holy Toledos, this is not okay. Let's discard some stuff. Whatever. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely bonkers. We're taking double turns. We're drawing 7 cards. We're dealing 4 to... Oh my god. Quickly tap some stuff. I mean, we have lethal regardless. But, hey, let's take a double turn, you see? And then we get 2 more free casts here with the damage we just did. Seagate Restoration, right? And then, well, really anything. But we have the Seagate, we have a Prismari Command that we're still free casting here. And then, right, so with that damage, we take the Seagate, we take the Prismari Command, and then we have a whole nother turn. Oh, woof. Going first, we have a dream of a 3rd land into our hands. Can we get it? Can we get it? On a white. Uh-oh. This is going to be more challenging than I originally anticipated. Deep breaths, HGG. You can do it. No blockage. I like the Ogre Helm, man. Let me keep it. They spend their mana? Interesting. Won't discard here. Would be good though, right? That ogre head helm with the flame painter discard, like, oh man. The brutal Cathar probably takes the ogre though, eh? No, it takes the goblin. Interesting. I mean, that's our ramp. It makes sense. And then we don't get it back. Still wouldn't mind trying to get raid on that Cathar, because I don't want to flip day and night and have it just assemble the whole field, right? So, you know what? Sure. I'll trade with it. I've already got some goodies there, and I've got another ogre in hand. Oh, man. Dang it. Randy! Frig off! He's like, my name's Eddie, bro. Oh, man. So close. Kill now, make the treasure, and then we can immediately spend the manners on the mech. I mean, you know, we're getting kind of close. We can Mindlink mech the helm to draw 3, which is good. Unless they have instant schedule or a Skyclave. Dang it. I'm gonna highlight. No, they don't go for it. Taking the Mindlink mech is the correct answer. Let's be honest. Is that 3 exiles in a row? Wow. Wow. Let's keep the 4/4 back to defend. I'm assuming the 1/1 token just gets in the way. Really? I might need to be in full control here. Oh no! We should have discarded that first. My bad, misplay, but that's learning the deck. So we have to discard that opus for the treasure first. It's sad. It's sad. We get some cool things, but it's still missed value. Their 4th exile. Holy. Their 5th exile? That's literally everything. And they've only, in the top 9 cards, 4 of them are exile. They must have more than 60 cards here. Are you insane? And we're just dead. Wow. They can just block this and win. That is insane luck. We are operating effectively. They dunked on us. That shuffler. You know what I mean? Play another one. I would just love to see another exile. Come on, bro. No, okay, I'll just leave. I'll just leave. The chances of that happening are slim to none. That's absolutely goofy. You're an absolute goober, bro. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5 exile in top 10, but they've got a few extra cards there. And you think the extra cards in their deck would really offset the consistency of drawing those, but apparently not. Wow, I'm going to be upset about this all day. It was close. It was close. We almost got there. Alrighty. Our opponent goes first. It's not a good hand, but there's the Mindlink Mech, which is fantastic. I would love an Ogre's Helm in here if we could get there. I definitely would not complain. Pretty bad draw hand, though. It happens. Ooh. Just lands, too. Yikes. Just imagine, 5 turns we can use our Seagate. Prismari command off the top. And, interesting. 2 damage, they gain 2 life. They mill and grab a land. Play a tapped land. Hit us for 1, down to 17. Okay, that's a 3-drop at least, right? So let's mech, get the summoning sickness off of it. Then we can make a treasure when we attack. Unless they slay the mech with a binding. Don't say that out loud, bro. Ooh, I mean, that's good. Screw it up. Make the treasure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh man, that's a 6/6. Yikes. And we're getting hit for 8, down to 9? Holy. We're dead next turn, man. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't get it. Shoot! I was like, the only way we get it is with the Flame Painter. Try to double turn, right? Because we get it for quite a bit of damage. 16 and an additional 4 for 20. Maybe we do get it? I should have kept that Gambit. Shoot! I just fucked up. We should have kept that Gambit. I fucked up. We could have taken 3 turns for the win. Definitely fucked that up. But he redeems himself! It's too bad this has Summoning Sickness. Wow. Hitting for 8. Take another turn. Oh my gosh. Wow. And then we can Opus. We don't even need to Seagate. Woof. 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 No! Lord have mercy! You know how hard we were about to pop off? Oh my gosh, we had protection magic as well. A Seagate and a Magma Opus to free cast. Oh my god, my cheeks are sore from smiling so much today, you guys. We've made such cool decks so far. Holy Toledos. Mindlink Mech is goofy. Ifrit Flame Painter for the free casts from your grave. That's super broken. People will need to be controlling the graves in literally every deck. If not, they will need bounce effects. I'm thinking that we have enough mill. And I would maybe like a little bit more counter magic, right? To stop our opponent from interacting with us. Let's get that Spell Pierce probably up to 4. You know, maybe we're tossing Otherworldly Gaze, potentially. Maybe even Tezzeret goes. It's hard to say out loud, but I think that's probably the weakest link here. And, you know, we're really going to fine-tune this build, but I think we're close. I would love to know what all of you guys think in the comments below. You know, how can we take this to the next level? I mean, that's a terrible question to be asking right now, but I would love your thoughts and opinions. And with that out of the way, let's take a look at card of the day. All right, so, I mean, I can't see the screen, so I will not be able to read this, but let's get it in focus for you guys. Jace the Mirror Mage is a Planeswalker, or Mind Sculptor, sorry. I think. No, Mirror Mage. 3 loyalty. It has a kicker. If you kick it, you can have it enter the field with a non-legendary token copy of it, which is pretty cool. It will have only 1 starting loyalty. They both, at this point, will have +1 to scry 2 and 0 to draw a card, reveal it, and then remove the number of loyalty counters equal to the card's converted mana cost from Jace, which is pretty cool. So, you know, for as little as 5 mana, you're getting to like super scry, and you can potentially draw as well, which is pretty cool. And, you know, you got a Planeswalker in play, which means they're going to have to take time out of their day to deal with it. And 2 copies, double deal with it. At least you're getting things out of their hand, going 2 for 1, actually, which is pretty cool, while scrying and drawing. Good value. So, thanks to Titan Shield, I'm able to protect all my cool cards. And this is a full art, not holographic, sadly. But if you're interested in that, we have that and many more links available within the link tree in the description below, of course. You can also find the deck list down there, all the cool stuff. And all my recent videos I kind of pin in the comment below if you're interested in my most recent uploads. And I think this is our 3rd Kamigawa deck already. You know, it's day 1. We're like 4 or 5 hours into it, and I've got a lot more left in me. So, make sure to like the video, show your support, subscribe to the channel, become a member, support financially if you can afford to do so. But most importantly, just have a magical day. We'll see you soon.